So it's about Harry growing up in London as a local London lad. A story from him coming through grassroots is really important. So the beginning of the display will show all that. So he played at Ridgeway Rovers, Gladstone Rangers, and then when he did sign that Spurs contract at 17, professional contract, then he did go out on loan. So we do touch upon Leyton Orient, Millwall, and of course, because we are the Museum of London and we focus on London people and places, you know, Millwall, it was a time where because they were in a relegation battle, he saw, you know, this is people, it's their careers, it's their livelihood, it's their families. He saw how that impacted people as a youngster. So that was a major growth for him. And then he looks back fondly on Leyton Orient as well. I mean, he's originally from Leytonstone. He went on loan there, and you'll see as well in the display that he now sponsors them. So he does give back. So he's sort of gone 360 in that, and he knows this is a position where we can help now as well, which is really exciting. There's a massive Spurs section because that's the larger part of his senior career. It literally starts from his first sort of debut game right through to his hat-trick. So there's a lot there. So what you'll see in the display is his numbers from 37, 18 to 10. So he didn't just come in at Spurs and become a number 10. He sort of worked his way through. And even going out on loan and coming back, you know, he had to prove himself. And then he had to try and get that striker spot ahead of already established players like Soldado and Adebayor. So it wasn't easy. He had to obviously try hard to get his place, find his place. Well, it's really interesting because where we start with his youth, there's actually a trophy that he has as a youngster that's the top goal scorer at Waltham Forest District. And then not too far from that case, we've got his golden boots. So we've got 3 golden boots in the Playmaker Awards. So I think that's a really beautiful contrast from when he was young to now. So that's a really beautiful moment. So it's something that he's wanted to do since he was young, and he strives to do that. And you can see that through his journey and sort of trophies and things that he's picked up. He played at every England youth level. And then we've got his debut shirt for England where he scored within 79 seconds of coming onto the pitch. He was substituted for Wayne Rooney on that game as well. So that's a great story. It's a great first debut. And then we have his shirt that he played against Scotland in, where he became captain for the first time. And then we have a shirt from the 2018 World Cup, so where we've got the hat-trick against Panama, and then the Denmark v England shirt for the Euro 2020. So we've sort of done it chronologically up to date up until last year. But also we focus on him as England captain, but also his team. This England team is very different in that they're connecting with the next generation of fans, this generation of fans, and they're really, it's allyship in a way that I've never seen before, and I think we've never seen before. They're not afraid to stand together, they're not afraid to speak out for things like LGBTQ, standing in solidarity, and then Black Lives Matter and taking the knee. So there's a lot going on there, a very inspirational team, and obviously Harry is the England captain. We have the World Cup Golden Boot on display, and he is the only second Englishman to obtain that honour. So it's great to have that on display here. I mean, it's not something you see every day, and we've got it in the case here along with the hat-trick ball from the Panama game. So I know people will be really excited to see that. Everything that you see in the exhibition is on loan from Harry Kane and his family, so nothing's been seen in public before. So it's the first time you'll get to see all these objects. So there's nothing here that belongs to anyone else, apart from the Pride armband actually that he gave to Matt Lucas. So Matt Lucas has loaned that to us, that he wore in the Germany game. But these are items that you'll never see before, and it's really important that the display itself is free as well. It's really accessible. So entry to the museum's free and the display's free. We're open to the public, and it's our duty as the Museum of London to celebrate London and its people. And Harry's story is a beautiful story of even just putting aside the football. It's a young boy that grew up in London that wanted to do something, and in his case it was he wanted to play football, and he knew that from like 5 years old. We have some schoolwork from his primary school that says I want to play football, so he was very clear on what he wanted to do, and as he was growing back he kept getting knockbacks. It wasn't an easy ride, you know. He was told he doesn't look like a striker, and told over and over again that, you know, you're not going to make it. So it was just that belief and that determination he had in himself to keep going. And I think that will really connect with people, youngsters, and not just youngsters, just people in general, that, if you do want something so bad, like, you can sort of make it happen, so, like, believe you can make it happen. So I'm hoping that will connect with people. And that's the story. It's ultimately a child that wanted to play football, local London lad that became England captain. It's possible.